Good afternoon, everyone. We will continue the previous lecture, that is instruction sets related with interrupts. Okay. So in the previous three classes, we briefly discussed about the interrupt structure of 8085 microprocessor and how the microprocessor handling the interrupts. Okay. And timing diagram for INTA machine cycle, like opcode fetch, memory read, memory write, IO write. INTA acknowledgement is a kind of machine cycle. So those topics we completed in the previous classes. Now the instruction sets enable interrupt. Okay, enable interrupt is a 1 byte instruction which enable all the flip flop. Sorry, all the interrupt structure. RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5, INTR. Okay, trap is non-maskable. It is always enable only. Right. So suppose if the programmer want to mask a particular interrupt, either 7.5 or 6.5 or 5.5 or more than one interrupt, then we can use the instruction sim instruction, set interrupt mask. Okay? Set interrupt mask. But before execution of the set interrupt mask, the processor will read, whenever you are executing sim instruction, the processor will read the accumulator content. Based on the accumulator content only, the microprocessor interprets which interrupts are masked, which interrupt is not masked, and all. Okay. So whenever we are executing same instruction, we have to load some 8-bit information into the accumulator first. Okay. So what is the interpretation of the accumulator bit pattern for sim instruction? So accumulator is an 8-bit register. Let's say D0 to D7, 8 bits. The first three bits, D0, D1, D2. If you want to mask restart 5.5 instruction, then this bit position should be 1. Okay, 1 meaning RST 5.5 masked. If D1 equal to 1 meaning RST 6.5 is masked. D2 equal to 1 meaning RST 7.5 is masked. Okay. To control this D0, D1, D2, D3 bit is used. That is mask set enable. If this mask set enable equal to 1, it indicate any one or more than one the interrupts can be masked or unmasked. Okay. If the mask set enable equal to 0, this D0 to D2 bit ignored. So totally D0 to D3. So these positions are involving masking a particular restart interrupt. Okay. It should be 1. And also which interrupt we want to mask, then we have to make it 1, the corresponding position. Next, reset RST 7.5. Okay. In the interrupt structure, there is one pin called as RST R7.5. If this R7.5 is high, the flip-flop will be cleared, meaning the output is reset. So the programmer can reset this RST 7.5 instruction with the help of the bit position D4. If D4 equal to 1, interrupt interrupt, particularly RST 7.5, will be resetted. D5 not used, and D6, D7 is used for a serial communication. If D6 position equal to 1, it represents the microprocessor sending the data serially to the outside the world. Okay. So when D6 equal to 1, whatever the information available at D7, that particular data sent to the external world serially. Okay. If SDE equal to 0, then this will be ignored. Then D7 data will be ignored. Okay. So this is the functions of or interpretation of accumulator content while executing the sim instruction. So are you clear about this concept? So three functions. One is masking a particular interrupt, resetting the RST 7.5 instruction. Second function. Third function, serial output data transmission related. D6 is the control for serial data output transmission. Okay, D6 one, then whatever information available in D7 that will be transmitted to outside the world. If D6 is 0, then this operation is disabled. Serial data transmission operation is disabled. So with some example, you can understand clearly. Suppose in the examination, if they are asking to write an assembly language program to enable all the interrupts. Example, write an assembly language program to enable all the interrupt. Okay. So first instruction, enable interrupt 1 byte instruction. And also we have to execute sim instruction. Before execution of the sim instruction, to activate RST 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, then we have to place 0, 0, 0 here. Okay. D2 must be 0, D1 must be 0, D0 must be 0. Then D3 position should be 1. Later we can mask or unmask. It's programmer wish. So D3 position must be 1. Okay. So for that, before executing the sim instruction, we are loading the accumulator content move immediate a comma 08. Move immediate a comma 08. Okay. 08 meaning 000 binary and 100 binary. So this is the equivalent binary number. So this is D0, D1, D2, D3. So when you execute the sim instruction, the microprocessor will read the accumulator content. So now check D0, 000. So RST 5.5, 6.5, 7.5 enabled. Okay. This is not masked. That is the meaning. Suppose one more example. Write and code assembly language program. Reset the 7.5 interrupt. Not masking. Okay. Reset the RST 7.5 interrupt. From the previous example, first enable all the interrupt and then reset RST 7.5 interrupt only. So which bit position is used to reset? Which position is used to reset RST 7.5?
D4, sir.
D4. Okay. So D4 must be high. D4 must be high. If D4 is high, meaning then RST 7.5 will be reset. So what data we have to load now? First, we have to enable all the interrupt. That is, suppose I'm loading 18, hexadecimal 180001, binary equivalent 100. Okay. So D0, D1, D2, D3, D4. Okay. D4. D4 position should be 1. So MVI move immediate A comma 18H and then same instruction. Okay. So this lower order 4, none of the interrupts are masked. None of the interrupts are masked. D4 is 1. So you are resetting the RST 7.5 interrupt. So enable interrupt, set interrupt mask. These two instructions we completed. Next, what are the instruction to reset the interrupt flip-flop? Which instruction is used to reset the interrupt flip-flop? Interrupt structure. Look at the interrupt structure. What are the different way we can reset the interrupt enable flip-flop? Disable interrupt, or resetting the microprocessor, or any interrupt recognized. Any interrupt recognized by the microprocessor disable this flip-flop first until the completion of the service for the corresponding interrupt. So there are three ways to disable a particular interrupts or interrupt system, except trap. So instruction DI, three ways to disable interrupt. Except trap. Trap is always enabled. Okay. By executing the disable interrupt. This is 1 byte instruction. This is 1 byte instruction. Or reset pin of microprocessor, or microprocessor recognize of any interrupt. Any interrupt request. Okay. Please remember, there are three ways to reset or to disable your interrupts, except trap. By executing DI or manually reset pin, or the microprocessor itself disable the interrupt flip-flop whenever any interrupt request detected. Okay, then it is enabled again once the interrupt service routine completed for the corresponding interrupt. Okay. The last instruction, that is for pending interrupt. Suppose any external hardware send the interrupt request to the microprocessor. So microprocessor temporarily disable the interrupt flip-flop and executing the interrupt service routine for the particular request. Okay. Meanwhile, if there is any pending interrupt, how the processor will recognize it? Okay. So that instruction called as RIM, read interrupt mask. It is called as read interrupt mask. Okay. The microprocessor will read the 8-bit information from the accumulator here also. Okay. So based on this RIM instruction structure, the processor will identify which interrupts is pending. Okay. So the RIM instruction load the accumulator content. Load the accumulator with the following information. How the SIM instruction, whenever you are executing SIM instruction, the microprocessor read the accumulator data based on the bit position, the various operations. Okay. Meaning either masking or unmasking RST 5.5, 6.7.5, or resetting the RST 7.5 manually, or enable serial data transmission, serial output data. So like that, whenever you are executing RIM instruction, the processor will read the accumulator content and it will interpret some information. So what are those information? 8-bit. Let us say D0 accumulator content. D1, D2, D3. Okay. D4, D5, D6, D7. Okay. The first position, same M5.5, M6.5, M7.5, then interrupt enable, then interrupt enable. The next 3 bit indicate whether the interrupt is pending or not. D4 bit, if D4 bit is 1, interrupt that is RST 5.5 is pending. If D5 bit is 1, then RST 6.5 interrupt request is pending, and so on. So this is for serial input data. Okay, so this is the bit pattern. The microprocessor interprets the accumulator content whenever the RIM instruction is executed. Whenever the RIM instruction is executed. Okay, so D0 to D2, D0 to D2 interrupt mask. F1, which represent masked. Okay. D0 1 meaning RST 5.5 masked. D1 1 meaning RST 6.5 masked. Like this for D2 also. IE interrupt enable flip flop or flag. Interrupt enable flag. If one represent, all the interrupts enabled. Okay, and these 3 position indicate the pending interrupt. D4, D5, D6. RST 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. Okay, this indicate pending interrupt. Pending interrupt. 1 represents the interrupt request is pending, yet to service by the microprocessor. Last one is serial input data. In the previous instruction, same instruction, the last 2 bits used for, one is for controlling the serial data, and the most significant bit is used for transmitting the data. So like this in D7, serial data input. In accumulator, D7 position, if any information is there, that is assumed as serial input data into the microprocessor. Serial input data bit, if any. Okay. So this is the structure for RIM instruction. So remember that if D4 high meaning RST 5.5 is pending. D5 high meaning RST 6.5 is pending. D6 high meaning RST 7.5 is pending. Okay. So this is a RIM instruction. One simple program. With this, we'll complete this interrupt topic. To understand this RIM instruction, assume the microprocessor is completing. Assume the microprocessor is completing an RST 7.5 and RST 7.5 interrupt request. Interrupt request. Okay. Check to see if RST 6.5 is pending. Okay. Assume the microprocessor currently completed RST 7.5 interrupt request. Okay. Check to see if RST 6.5 is pending. Said what condition the RST 6.5 is pending? D5 must be 1. Okay. Please look at this. Your D5 must be 1. If D5 1 meaning it indicate your RST 6.5 is pending. Look at this particular position. D5 must be 1. Now the microprocessor first write down the instruction RIM instruction, RIM. Okay. Once you execute RIM instruction, the microprocessor read the accumulator status. Okay. While executing the interrupt service routine for RST 7.5, the processor doesn't know which interrupt request is pending. It will read the accumulator status. Based on the accumulator status only, processor can understand which are the interrupt is pending or not pending. So we don't know what data stored in the accumulator now. Okay. So let execute RIM instruction. So whatever the information available in the accumulator, for time being, you just move the data to B. Move B comma A represent the data from A moved to B, and also the same information will be available in accumulator also. Okay, please remember that. Now, I want to check whether RST 6.5 is pending or not. RST 6.5 is pending or not. So we know that we have to read the particular D5 status. Okay, D5 position. If the D5 position is 1, then it indicate RST 6.5 is pending. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to perform logical AND operation. Logical AND operation between accumulator with hexadecimal 20. Okay. What is hex? I don't know what is the accumulator status. I don't know what is the accumulator status. Okay. While executing RIM instruction, the processor need to check how the processor need. We have to write the program first. Okay. Write the program to check whether RST is pending or not. So now I'm performing logical AND operation between accumulator and 20. What is 20? Two equivalent binary. Okay. 0010. 0000. For the 0, 4-bit binary, for 2, 4-bit binary. So D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. Purposely, I'm performing the logical AND operation between the accumulator content with 20. Okay. If in the accumulator D5 position, if in the accumulator, if D5 position is 1, then obviously your result will be non-zero. Correct or not? We don't know the accumulator content 8-bit position. To check whether RST 6.5 is pending or not, I'm performing logical AND operation between accumulator with 20. That is 001000. If RST 6.5 pending, then it must be 1. Okay. If RST 6.5 is not pending, then it must be 0. So 0.1, your entire result will be 0. So based on your accumulator result after performing this logical AND operation between accumulator and 00100, you will come to know whether RST 6.5 is pending or not. Suppose no 0. No 0 meaning when you will get non-zero value for this particular operation. Logical AND. AND gate operation it is. Can you tell me when we will get non-zero result here?
When all inputs are 1.
All inputs are
1.
all inputs are okay. Particularly with respect to D, so see here I am putting 0, 0, 0, 0. So whatever it may be, obviously I will get 0. Correct or not? Just 1 minute. Why the okay? Here already 0, 0 dot anything 0, 0 dot anything 0, 0 dot anything 0, 0 dot anything 0, 0, 0. Only this position 0 or 1 depending on this D5 position. D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7. Depending on D5 position, my output will be 0 or 1. If pending interrupt, if D5, pending interrupt meaning D5 1. So 1.11. If there is no pending interrupt of RST 6.5, then it will be 0. So my output will be 0. So after performing this logical operation by reading our accumulated data, that is jump on no 0. If accumulator is non-zero, non-zero meaning you will get 1 here. Then it indicates the pending instruction available. RST 6.5 is pending. RST 6.5 is pending meaning the processor will start executing the interrupt service routine for RST 6.5. Okay. So in the next location, the interrupt service routine will be available. I'm not writing the entire code here. In the next location, the interrupt service routine programs will be available here. The processor will start execute this instruction. If everything is 0, that meaning the D5 position is 0. That is RST 6.5 0. In this particular position is 0. Okay. If this is 0 only, 0.1 you will get 0. Okay. If 0 meaning RST 6.5 is not pending. Okay. Now enable all the interrupt, then return to your main program. Okay. So this is a simple program to understand the meaning of rim instruction. I'll repeat once again. Write in simple assembly language program to check whether the restart 6.5 is pending or not. Okay. Assume the microprocessor completing a RST 7.5 interrupt request. And previously, while executing SIM instruction, we loaded the 8-bit information into the accumulator purposely to mask or unmask any one of the interrupt. Now we don't know what value stored in the accumulator first. We are executing rim instruction. Okay. This is also not required. I have written for some other purpose. I don't know. Okay. Right. I'm executing rim instruction. Okay. And then logical AND operation between accumulator and 20. 20 meaning why I'm taking 20? 20 equivalent binary 00100. So D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. D5 position is the corresponding position for identifying whether interrupt RST 6.5 is pending or not. If D5 equal to 1, then it indicates RST 6.5 is pending. Interrupt request is pending from this particular pin, RST 6.5. To identify that, purposely I take 20. Okay, 20 binary equivalent 00100. I'm performing logical AND operation with accumulator, but I don't know what value stored in the accumulator. Okay, so based on the result is whether 0 or non-zero. If the interrupt request is pending, then D5 1. So 1.1 I'll get non-zero value, that is 0 0 1 0 0. If the interrupt request is not pending, D5 0, so 0 dot anything you will get 0. Okay, so jump on no 0 meaning your RST 6.5 is pending. So go to next. So assume that your interrupt service routine available in this particular loop. Suppose if you get 0 meaning there is no pending interrupt from RST 6.5. So enable all the interrupt and return to the main program. Okay. Just few instructions to understand the meaning of RIM, read interrupt mask, or read the pending interrupt. So any doubt so far? Please respond.
No, sir.
So we clear about the interrupt structure. We took at least more than 4 hours to complete that particular topic. Okay, fine. So I think we covered most of the topic in unit 1. And one small topic, then we'll go for the revision. That is direct memory access. Okay. Direct memory access. Microprocessor has the internal address bus data bus. Okay. Internal address bus data bus. Let's say this is address bus. To communicate, to identify the memory location or to identify the IO devices. Address bus. Okay. So like this data bus also available. Data bus is bidirectional. Okay. Suppose the direct memory access meaning the direct memory access controller, DMA controller. It's an external device. It's available in the form of integrated circuit, IC format. It's a DMA controller. So in microprocessor, we studied two important signals, that is hold and HLDA. Hold and HLDA. So direct memory access is the process of communication or data transfer controlled by the external peripheral. Okay. Controlled by the external peripheral, particularly DMA control. This DMA control controlling the communication between IO devices to memory or memory to some other devices. So hold is the signal sent by the DMA controller. Hold is the signal sent by the DMA controller to the microprocessor to request the address and data bus of the microprocessor. Okay. The DMA controller sending the hold request to the microprocessor, it informs that the DMA controller need this address and data bus for transferring or communicating some data between IO devices to memory. Okay. So to acknowledge this hold signal, microprocessor execute completing the currently execution instruction first, and then it issues HLDA, hold acknowledgement signal, to this DMA controller. This DMA controller. Okay. So once this hold HLDA signal, this particular pin is 0, then DMA controller utilizing this address and data bus for transferring the data between memory to IO devices. Okay. For the fast access, without controlling of the microprocessor, without the DMA controller will take over the data transfer between memory to IO bus through this address and data bus. Okay. Then, so whenever the DMA controller completing its data transfer, then it will place 0 on this hold bus. Once the 0 on placed on hold bus, then processor identify okay, DMA controller completed its work, then it will take over the charge of controlling this address and data bus. Understanding, no? Because in previously while discussing the pin diagram, I explained the functions of hold and HLDA. But actual meaning of this hold and HLDA like this. So direct memory access control. The memory can be accessed for data transfer directly, not with the help of the microprocessor. Are you clear about this?
Yes, sir.
Fine. I think so. Unit 1 syllabus is over now, up to this particular topic. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. And we studied the interrupts priority. Okay, the one important thing we studied the interrupt priority. The priority is highest priority trap, then RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5. This is the interrupt priority. Okay. Suppose hold signal received from the DMA controller. Simultaneously, any one of the interrupt request is received. Then processor will pay attention for hold signal only. Okay. Among the interrupts, this is the priority level. But microprocessor always gives the first priority for hold signal. Whenever the hold pin is high, then microprocessor complete the current execution and relinquish this address and data bus to the DMA controller. It lost its control of the address and data bus. DMA controller will take over the charge of this address and data bus. This one very important. Right. So that's all about Unit 1 syllabus. From tomorrow onwards, we'll start Unit 2. A little bit revision about instruction sets and addressing mode. And some programs. I need to teach some programs because you can expect program also for the examinations. So pin diagram, functional blocks, bus structure, architecture. It's very important. Once you complete the pin diagram, that is the functions of each and every pin, then architecture part is very simple. Apart from architecture, you may expect the questions. Write down the or explain the programming model of 8085 microprocessor. Programming model meaning registers of the microprocessor. Or explain the timing and control signals in microprocessor. Then you have to explain only these signals. Or explain the interrupt structure of 8085 microprocessor. Next, program status word. Program status word meaning accumulator and as well as flag registers. Okay, so you may expect the entire topic or individual blocks also will be coming for the examinations. You have to be ready. Okay. Memory read operations. So what are the steps involving during memory read operations? ALE must be high. AD0 to AD7 can be act as address bus. A8 to A17 higher order address. So during T1 state, it point out the address location. Then T2 to T3 state, processor issues memory read control signal. Okay. So during T2 to T3 state, so whatever data available from the memory, that will be available on the data bus. So we have drawn the timing diagram corresponding these operations. Similar thing, communication and bus timing. For the example, move C, IA. Okay. Move C, IA. The opcode 4F stored in the address location 2005. So what are the steps involving to read this particular to fetch the 4F opcode from the memory? Then what are the various control signal generated by the 8085 microprocessor and its internal circuitry? Instruction cycle, how many T state or how much time the microprocessor will utilize to execute a particular instruction completely. That is instruction cycle. So one instruction cycle may have more than one machine cycle, like opcode fetch, memory read, memory write, IO write, or INTA acknowledgement, etc. Okay. One clock pulse called as one T state. For solving problem, this T state will be given to you. Whether frequency is 3 megahertz or 2 megahertz, it will be given to you. So capital T equal to 1 by F. Okay. Then machine cycle, status line for opcode fetch, read, write. After completion of the basics, then we have drawn the timing diagram for opcode fetch. Opcode fetch for only 1 byte instructions. Yeah. RST, restart instruction also 1 byte instruction, but it involves more than one machine cycle. So this is like move operations or add B, like that. 1 byte instruction and also 8-bit operation related. So during T4 state, it interprets what kind of instruction it is. So opcode fetch we completed. Suppose 1 byte instruction, but 16-bit data related operation, then processor will utilize total 6 T state, T4, T5, T6, to interpret or to decode the opcode or what kind of instruction it is. Then memory read operations. Okay. Any instruction, the first machine cycle is opcode fetch. But INTA machine cycle is different. Okay. Because in INTA machine cycle, the external hardware and INTA signal insert the RST instruction on the data bus. That is different. So apart from the RST instruction execution, remaining all the instruction, machine cycle 1 is opcode fetch. And then followed by whatever may be the machine cycle. It depends on the instruction, whether it is move, immediate, or LDA instruction or STA instruction. So I given some assignment how to draw the timing diagram for various instructions. So memory read, memory write, then IO read, IO write. Okay. So all the timing diagram completed and interrupt structures. So based on the questions, they have to answer, because interrupt is a very big topic. How the processor handling the interrupts, and how RST5 instruction, RST5 interrupt, the hex code for RST5, how it is inserted in the data bus of microprocessor with the help of this tri-state buffer circuit and INTA acknowledgement circuit. And timing diagram for INTA. Then instruction related with interrupts: enable interrupt, disable interrupt, set interrupt, mask interrupt, read interrupt, mask interrupt. So these are the topics available in Unit 1.